Let me hit you with this straight, brother. If you're chasing a woman, trying to impress her, over-explaining yourself, negotiating attraction, or subtly begging for her attention, you're already losing. Not because you're a bad guy, not because you don't mean well, but because attraction doesn't work the way most men were taught it works. And once you see this, you can't unsee it. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, my name is Harold. This is The Hidden Code, a channel built for men who want to understand relationships and develop themselves through actionable, practical psychology. No theory for theory's sake, no feel-good nonsense, just the stuff that actually plays out in the real world. Here's the uncomfortable truth I learned the hard way after years of dating, mistakes, wins, losses, and watching other men repeat the same patterns. Women don't fall for men they fully understand. They fall for men they feel. Attraction isn't logical, it's visceral. It lives in the nervous system, not the spreadsheet. And most men kill that feeling by trying to explain themselves into being liked. If I wanted my dream woman today, I wouldn't chase her. I wouldn't audition for her approval. And I definitely wouldn't try to convince her I'm worthy. I'd focus on making her feel something she doesn't feel anywhere else. Because the moment you turn attraction into a discussion, it's already dead. That brings us to the foundation most men skip entirely: polarity. Women don't fall for men who feel like they're emotional peers. They don't want a mirror, they want contrast. Masculine direction meeting feminine emotion. That tension is where attraction lives. Let me paint you a picture. I've seen this play out more times than I can count. Two guys, same woman, same city, same Friday night date. Guy A is polite. He mirrors her energy perfectly. He asks what she wants to do, where she wants to eat, agrees with everything she says, laughs a little too hard, smiles a little too much. He's trying to be safe. He's trying to be liked. Guy B? He's calm, relaxed. He picks a place without making a big deal out of it. He leads the conversation instead of chasing it. He's comfortable with silence. He doesn't rush to fill every gap with nervous talking. He's present, but not performing. Now here's the part men hate admitting. Guy A is nice. Guy B creates charge. And women don't choose comfort when it comes to desire. They choose tension. That spark where she feels herself soften into her feminine because your masculine energy is steady enough to hold it. Nice isn't attractive. Nice is neutral. Safety matters, but safety alone doesn't create desire. Attraction is built on contrast. Without polarity, there's no spark. Without spark, you're just a friendly guy she explains her dating problems to. I learned this early on in my 20s, back when I thought effort was the answer. I was the guy who showed up early, stayed late, texted back instantly, over-communicated intentions, and thought consistency alone would win her over. What I didn't realize was that I was removing all tension from the equation. I was making myself emotionally predictable. Easy to read, easy to place, easy to forget. And women don't fall for men they can fully predict. They fall for men who make them feel alive in their body, not just understood in their head. This isn't about being cold or distant. It's about direction. When you don't know where you're going, you start asking her to lead. When you lack internal certainty, you outsource it to her approval. And the moment she feels like she's steering the ship emotionally, attraction starts leaking out fast. Polarity means you bring the structure. She brings the emotion, you hold the frame, she relaxes into it. When that dynamic flips, when you start orbiting her feelings, her moods, her validation, the charge disappears. And most men don't even realize they're doing it. They think they're being good men. What they're really doing is neutralizing the very thing that made her interested in the first place. If this is already hitting a nerve, that's a good sign. It means you're paying attention. Drop a comment with one word: polarity. Lock it in. Say it for yourself. And if this channel is helping you see the game more clearly, subscribe and join a growing community of men who are done guessing, done chasing, and ready to build real attraction from the inside out. Because next, we're going to talk about why living for women destroys desire, how men lose attraction the moment they make her the center of their world, and what actually makes a woman chase instead of lean back. Here's where a lot of men quietly sabotage themselves, brother, without even realizing it. The moment they start living for a woman instead of living as a man with direction. This isn't cruelty. It's not manipulation. It's not some edgy dating trick. It's biology and psychology doing what they've always done. Women are not attracted to men who make them the center of their universe. They're attracted to men who already have a universe of their own. Motion matters. Direction matters. A man moving somewhere is magnetic. A man standing still, waiting for her approval, isn't. I've seen this play out in real life more times than I can count. A guy meets a woman he really likes. At first, everything's fine. He's got his routine. He hits the gym. He sees his friends. He works on his business or career. He has momentum. That's what she responds to in the beginning, whether she realizes it or not. Then he starts to like her more, and instead of letting her join his life, he slowly abandons it. He skips workouts to hang out with her, stops seeing his friends as much, pushes his goals to the side. He's always available, always texting back, always rearranging his schedule, and from his perspective, he's thinking, this is what commitment looks like. From her perspective, something subtle shifts. The man she was drawn to starts disappearing, not because he did anything wrong, but because he stopped being in motion. And attraction doesn't survive stagnation. Here's the part that trips men up. She doesn't lose attraction because she's evil or ungrateful. She loses attraction because when you make her your mission, you stop being the man she chose in the first place. You turn her into the sun, and you start orbiting. And women don't fall for men who orbit them. They fall for men with their own gravitational pull. Think about it like this. Gravity doesn't chase, it pulls. A planet doesn't beg moons to stick around. It has mass, weight, presence. When you build a life with weight, people naturally lean toward it. When you strip that away to please one person, you become light, easy to drift from. That's why women chase men who are already in motion. A man with purpose doesn't need to announce it. You feel it. His time is structured. His energy is grounded. His life keeps moving whether she's there or not. And paradoxically, that's what makes her want to be part of it. This ties directly into social gravity. Women don't just choose men in isolation. Female desire is socially calibrated. Her subconscious is constantly scanning the environment, asking questions she doesn't even know she's asking. Who do other women notice? Who do men respect? Who seems established in the tribe? I've watched a guy get ignored for years, then suddenly get attention once his life changed. Same face, same personality, different positioning. He got in shape, started dressing better, built a solid career, expanded his social circle, walked with more certainty, and women who never looked at him twice before suddenly noticed him. Not because he changed for them, but because his value became obvious to the environment. Other men respected him, other women noticed him, and once that happened, her instincts recalibrated. This is hard for men to accept, but it's freeing once you do. Attraction isn't about convincing one woman to like you. It's about becoming the kind of man that would be chosen without persuasion. When other men respect you, women feel safer desiring you. When your life has structure and momentum, attraction doesn't need maintenance. It sustains itself. That's why chasing never works long term. Chasing signals that you have nowhere better to be, that your life pauses for her, that she's your purpose instead of a complement to it, and no amount of reassurance or effort can override that signal. The moment you stop orbiting and start building your own center of gravity, everything changes. Conversations feel lighter, you're less reactive, you don't need constant validation, and women feel that shift immediately, even if they can't explain it. Ask yourself this honestly: if she disappeared tomorrow, would your life still move forward, or would it collapse around her absence? One of those creates attraction, the other kills it. If this part hit home, drop a comment with one word: momentum. Let it anchor in your mind. Next, we're getting into emotional control, frame, and why the men women fall hardest for are the ones they can't emotionally shake. Here's where things separate fast, brother. Not looks, not money, not status. Emotional control. This is the part most men underestimate, and it's the part women feel immediately. Women test men, not always consciously, not maliciously, biologically. A woman's nervous system is constantly scanning for safety, and safety in this context doesn't mean boring or passive. It means emotional stability. It means she can feel whatever she feels without worrying that you'll collapse, panic, or explode along with her. If her emotions dictate yours, she feels unstable. If your frame holds steady when hers fluctuates, she feels secure. And security is what allows attraction to deepen instead of evaporate. I've watched this dynamic play out in real time. She gets emotional. Maybe she overthinks something. Maybe she reads into a tone, a text, a look. Weak men mirror that energy. They rush to explain. They argue. They apologize for things they didn't do. They raise their voice. They scramble to fix feelings instead of holding ground. Strong men don't flinch. They don't dismiss her emotions, but they don't absorb them either. They stay grounded. They slow their breathing. They lower their voice. They respond instead of react. And something interesting happens every single time. Her emotions begin to settle into his calm. That's not dominance. That's leadership. Emotional leadership. I learned this lesson the hard way in my late 20s. I was dating a woman who was emotionally intense, smart, passionate, deep. And early on, I made the mistake of matching her storms. If she got anxious, I got anxious. If she got upset, I rushed to fix it. I thought that was empathy. What it actually was instability. When I finally stopped reacting and started holding my frame, everything shifted. Same woman, same emotions, different response from me. And suddenly, instead of escalating, she softened. Instead of pushing, she leaned in. Women melt for men they can't emotionally shake. Not because those men are cold, but because they're solid. And this ties directly into seduction, which most men misunderstand completely. Women fall mentally before they fall physically. Seduction starts long before touch, long before sex. It starts in anticipation, in pacing, in tone, in presence. Men who struggle with women tend to rush physically. They think attraction is created by escalation, touch faster, push harder, move quicker. But women respond to restraint just as much as action, sometimes more. A whisper when she's not expecting it, a pause before a response, a text that implies instead of explains, walking past her slowly and letting your presence register before your words do, speaking slower than feels comfortable, letting silence do some of the work. I remember a night in Chicago years ago. No big moves, no flashy lines, just calm presence, measured words, eye contact held a second longer than necessary. I didn't touch her for hours, and by the time I finally did, she was already emotionally invested. The touch just confirmed what her mind had already decided. A man who knows how to turn a woman on without touching her becomes unforgettable. Because what he creates isn't just arousal, it's memory, tension, contrast. This is where emotional control and seduction overlap. When you're reactive, you rush. When you're grounded, you pace, and pacing is seductive. Ask yourself this: do you speed up when you're nervous, talk more, explain more, fill silence? Or can you stay relaxed when nothing is happening? Because the man who's comfortable in stillness signals confidence without saying a word. This isn't about acting mysterious or playing games. It's about being internally settled enough that you don't need to force outcomes. When you stop trying to control her reactions, she starts paying closer attention to you. If this part connected, drop one word in the comments: calm. Now I need you to pay attention, because here's the final shift most men never make, brother. And once you do, the entire dynamic changes. Mystery, not secrecy, not playing games. Mystery is intentional revelation, knowing when to speak and when to let silence do the talking. Showing depth without dumping your entire life story on the table like a resume on the first date. Predictable men are comfortable. Comfortable men are forgettable. And the fastest way to become predictable is to over-explain yourself. When you narrate every thought, every intention, every emotion, you remove tension. You make yourself easy to map. Women crave the man they can't fully figure out, not because he's confusing, but because he has layers. I've seen guys talk themselves out of attraction in real time. First date, 20 minutes in, and they're already explaining their childhood, their last relationship, their insecurities, their plans for the next 5 years. They think vulnerability means exposure. What it actually does is collapse mystery. Depth isn't revealed all at once. It's earned over time. A calm man who thinks deeply but doesn't rush to explain himself creates intrigue. She senses there's more beneath the surface. She leans forward instead of leaning back. And leaning forward is where desire grows. Then comes the part that flips the script entirely: vetting. Most men are auditioning for women. They're asking, "Do you like me?" Powerful men quietly ask a different question. Do I like her? Does she bring peace or chaos? Is she respectful? Is she disciplined? Is she feminine in the way that complements your life instead of destabilizing it? The moment a woman realizes she's being evaluated, not chased, desire spikes. Not because you're withholding, but because you're selective. Women fall hardest when they sense a man isn't trying to qualify for them. He's deciding. That energy changes everything. Conversations feel lighter. Interactions feel cleaner. You stop tolerating disrespect. And ironically, respect increases. This leads straight into one of the biggest attraction killers, pedestalizing women. The moment you put her above your mission, your values, your routines, polarity dies. When you cancel the gym, the work, the structure that built you, attraction drops. Not because she wants you to suffer, but because she wants to feel safe inside your frame. When you pedestalize your purpose instead, she respects you. When your life stays intact and she fits into it naturally, she leans in harder. You don't need to demand attention. You don't need reassurance. Your consistency does the talking. I've watched men lose women the moment they made her the priority over everything else. And I've watched women chase men who never once compromised their direction. Not because those men were distant, but because they were centered. And that brings us to becoming unforgettable. The men women never get over weren't perfect. They were certain. They had direction. They created emotional polarity. They knew how to lead, how to tease, how to touch with intention instead of desperation. They made a woman feel deeply feminine in their presence, seen, desired, safe, alive. That combination is rare. And once a woman experiences it, everything else feels flat. If I were a man starting over today, I wouldn't chase my dream woman. I wouldn't convince. I wouldn't impress. I'd become the man she dreams about and let her chase what she feels, not what she understands. If this series helped clarify things for you, drop one word in the comments. Frame. And if you're ready to stop guessing and start building attraction the right way, subscribe and join a growing community of men committed to clarity, self-respect, and real growth.